Happening, guys? Right, let me see who's in. Moderators, I need the moderators in tonight. Wee Bit Bunkers, Don Carter, Big Bass Boom, Wee Bit Bunkers, Alan, Sweet Cheeks, Nate Chance, Flaming Anvil, Ian's Interest, well done today. Thank you, mate. We'll talk about all that in a minute. Sir, thank you for coming in. Need all the moderators in pretty early. Good evening, Robin. Good to see you. Sorry what you had to endure last night. Pretty sad, to be honest with you, but it's what we expect. That's what Freedom Dad's been talking about. 404, not found. Good to see you, mate. Listening in, no problem, mate. No problem. Rick F, I'm doing good, mate. Mark Story, good evening from Atlanta. Fucking hell, man. What's it like in Atlanta? Cold or hot? Londonderry Patriot, good to see you, mate. Just going to get this a bit closer so I can relax a wee bit. Oh. I'm going to stick a wee bit of charge into my phone, guys, and then I'm going to get a mic in. Yeah, you just leave that alone. 53 in already, man. Drop your comments, guys. Oh, Samantha, Henry, good evening. What happened last night? Oh, you just gotta wait. It's a cold autumn night here in Scotland. It is cold here as well. Ian's Interest, freezing cold here. Not as warm as Atlanta. Big up, Freedom Dad. Okay, Foxy lad. Hit the like button, please. Northern Ireland Disgruntled one, good evening, mate. How you doing? Galloway Reader, good to see you. You're more reliable than the mobile signal. The parade went quite good. I'm going to get into it all, guys. I like to get you all in, get her up to 100. That's normally the usual. I don't know if there's any lives going on at the minute. Fucking hers. Fucking CJ takes a piss out of my hair, man. You know what I mean? It's getting a time to cut my hair, guys. I mean, not like it's just trying to find time in the day. Wee Bit Bunkers, Mark Story. It's getting cold here too. Sean M. Hey, Freedom Dad, old chap. Bless the old chap, mate. Pick C4, foundering here in Tomb. Good to see you, mate. Mick F. It's all kicking off in the south. AMH. And Marie, good to see you. Been a wee while, is it not? Big Bass Boom. Saying hello to John Rankin. John Rankin in the house. So is all the mods in? So yeah, mods, I want you to be sharpish tonight. Don't want any nonsense. You know, when I talk about what I talk about, and if there's anybody there trying to get a mix in, you know, because you can understand. I've had a fake account made up as well, and they've made it up in my real name, and they're going under Patriots, like Stevie, like the Northern Ireland Disgruntled one, and other Patriots, and they're putting down comments as if it's coming from me, you know. So my message to everybody, cheers James, I was waiting for you to come in. My message to everybody is check, just click on the icon, see how many friends they've got, because if it's a new account, they'll only have a couple of friends. All my accounts related to me, I've got quite a few, so there's no mistaking it. CJ Otis in the house, good to see you, mate. Freedom Dad. Galloway, relax, LOL. Couldn't let that one slip. Big up Freedom Dad in chat, big up for CJ. Some people are just here. Yeah, it's like, you know, we like I've spoke about this, guys. This is called psychological warfare, you know, and it's you know, you can do your research about it. You know, there's plenty of books and stuff that you can research about it, and it's something you should know about. You know, it's something that Sinn Féin have been using, and the Republican movement been using it for a long time, right back the hunger strikers days and all that. In the 70s and 80s, they had a propaganda department, you know what I mean, and they sat around and thought about the best way to go. Now times have changed, you know. Back then it was a bit different. It would be leaflets and stuff like that, but today it's social media, you know. So like I say, they're making up fake accounts and masquerading as Protestants, and you know, simple as that, like, and just going in and putting negative comments and making people doubt, you know what I mean. So Yeah, be very careful. Always listen to Freedom Dad and any other up and coming YouTubers and TikTokers that are coming that I tell you are fucking 100% on our side. You know what I mean? Like I say, there's one group of people against my daughter, the future of my daughter, and there's another massive, huge fucking awakening that are, you know, they're for my daughter, and there's a small wee group that is against my daughter, and that's the way I always explain it, because I don't know how else to make any sense out of the madness. I keep it as logical as possible. I don't want to go in the arms and legs, you know. Only me, only I know me, you know what I mean? Only each other know each other, so you should be able to present yourself in whatever manner, you know what I mean? Because I know who I am, I present myself in a very confident and logical way, because, you know, I know everything, I know me. So everything, anybody says anything, you know, not only does everybody been around me all my life, but, you know, I'm an open book, you know what I mean? And, but we'll address, we'll go into that. We'll go into the psychology tonight of what's going on in Northern Ireland, exactly what's going on, as in what I'm doing, the amount of videos I'm doing, the type of videos I'm doing, some of the work I'm doing behind the scenes that I can't talk about, because obviously, you know what I mean, you know, there's no point giving all our cards away, guys, you know what I mean? Freedom Dad and the good people of these beautiful isles, multiple types of awakenings going on, 100%. Smash that like button, guys. Thank you, CJ. So 106 in. So yeah, moderators, you know, I'm going to be talking about stuff, and you know, I'm going to be putting a nail in the coffin in some things, you know what I mean? Hope the troops are well and good. I was at Antifa flag allowed. You know, it's like I say, you know, we'll cover that. But you know, like I say, guys. So as you can see, I can only talk about what people have seen. Okay, what people are singing. Now I can say, you know, with certainty that there's no breakup with the Patriots. You know, the Patriots are tight as ever, you know. Like I say, this movement is massive, and there's many people. A lot of people think the Patriot movement is about who speaks at demos and who organises. It's a lot bigger than that. It's huge. It's like, that's a small percentage. There's like lots and lots of men doing a lot of work in the background on different issues, maybe on the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, you know, looking at different political parties, trying to work out like all the stuff in England. There's lots of work being done, guys, as far as what I believe are patriots, you know, and stand by them. There's a lot of guys. John Lockram, hi Dan, how you doing, mate? Big up the Patriots. So yeah, like, so as I've been doing my videos, and the people who have been following me, you know, that are like patriots, proper patriots, and watch all the videos we talk about. We've talked about all this, what's coming, what kind of attacks will come. I've always made it very clear, anybody that comes and attacks Freedom Dad, pay close attention to them. I've said that from day one. I've been saying that for like fucking 8-9 months now. So, you know, this is the bottom line. It's there's a propaganda going on. We can see from the Republican movement, but i.e. bringing up stuff from back in the day, loyalist attacks, you know, in Catholic communities and stuff like that, and stuff that went on in London, Bob Dublin, you know, to counteract what Freedom Dad's doing and other patriots are doing, and other people outside of the cameras and everything that you don't see that are working to try and bring communities together, and not just in Northern Ireland, but also to make connections with the patriots in Ireland as well, just as neighbours and as friends, you know, nothing political or nothing like that. James Cahill, good to see you, mate. So yeah, this is the problem that we're always going to have. Freedom Dad's voice is getting very loud, and a lot of people are listening to him. All my platforms are growing. They're just growing. It's out of control, you know what I mean? I'm trying to slow YouTube down by sending these to other people and other YouTube platforms like Dino and Past 49, British Lordware, you know, and all the younger ones that are coming up, Patriot Media, and Northern Ireland Lad, and there's others, you know, CJ Audits, you've got Belfast Fella, and there's a couple. Yeah, it's terrible trying to remember names and forgetting people. Tooth Podcast. So yeah, there's a lot happening at once since I've came back. You know, like I say, has Richard has said to me there was only 6 people at the Bangor demo, and since I've came back, there's been with my videos and with the help of Richard and other patriots pushing my videos out and advertising the Bangor demo properly and advertising any demo that I know of, then so there's been a huge awakening, and it's a bit overwhelming for some people. And the thing is all eyes are on us. All eyes are on us. We've got the police, we've got the intelligence service, we've got the newspapers, we've got all that, politicians, everybody is watching us very closely. And, it's been made clear from the start, that nobody's going to stop us, but, we're getting left to our own devices. And so where I'm going with this is, this is a situation where you've got egos, you've got people with platforms that are making money, and this is one of the reasons why I don't make money from a platform. Buy me a coffee barely helps me just move about the place, cover petrol and stuff like that, and send money to my daughter. That's it. I get looked after, fed, watered. Taxis, don't have to pay for taxis. Chinese just get delivered. I order them online. The money's put in the Chinese form. The money's given back to me. I get nothing but love and respect everywhere I go. So yeah, it's obvious to everybody what's truly going on. You know what I mean? There's nothing. Everybody around me and everybody that knows and I've been speaking to in the last 24 hours. It's just crazy. It's just the craziness that went on in England, the craziness that went on in Ireland to try and shut voices, silence voices. You know what I mean? What happened to Stevie? I can only talk about what Stevie's put out there. Turning up at a demo with his kid. I don't know how many kids he in the car, but him and his missus were there, so it was obviously one of his kids there at least. You know what I mean? He's got 5 children, I think now, and basically he was abused in front of his family, as far as I'm aware. You know what I mean? According to Stevie, and I believe he's not going to make that kind of stuff up. So yeah, it's this is the kind of thing that we're going to find going forward. And nobody's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody's cup of tea, but there's lines that you don't cross. There's other ways and avenues to deal with things, and it's certainly not at demos when people are coming from all over to see Freedom Dad, to come and chat to Freedom Dad, and to speak to Stevie Baker and that, you know what I mean? And maybe some people don't like that, you know what I mean? Maybe some people just don't like that, and yeah. So like I say, guys, I'm not a fighter. I don't want to fight. I fucking fought all my days in jail as a young man, and I don't like fighting, But if a man comes up in front of me and gets in my way, then it's on. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do or say about that. You know what I mean? I'm going forward to protect my daughter, and like I always say, these people, no matter how big they are, that stand in front of me, they're that size in my heart, because they're getting in the way of my daughter. And any man that stands in front of Freedom Dad, be prepared for what you think, or whatever you might not think that's coming, whatever is going through anybody's head that is coming up against Freedom Dad right now. After all the work I've put in, all the videos I've put in, I've got nothing but loyalty. I'm not harbouring anybody. I don't know everybody on my Facebook page. I've got nearly 9,000 people on my Facebook page. I don't know who they all are. Bobby fucking just added everyone when she started the Facebook page up. The only people who came to my house is good patriots from England and Scotland who have met all my friends, met all my outer circle, what I call family, stayed in my houses, stayed in my friends' houses, you know what I mean? And really good patriots that are here to learn, and we're here to learn from them, As far as who I was in a children's home with when I was 10 years old, that's just a wee bit embarrassing to even go down. But this is the kind of things that, the Freedom Dad's got to deal with, and Freedom Dad will deal with it, whichever way it's presented to me, because like I say, it's about my daughter. And yeah, I've never shied away from nothing in my life, and I'm not going to start now, and I've made that clear. The Freedom Dad isn't going anywhere, Freedom Dad has got the keys to Northern Ireland, because everybody knows what Freedom Dad's doing. And You know, we all know about the MI5 stuff. It happened in court in Scotland. You know, and there's certain people that are still to this day talking about that as if I'm some sort of intelligence officer. When I've made it clear that there's never been a police interview, the many that I've had from the arrests, that have never spoke a word but no comment, you know. And please believe me, the police would be the first to call me out on this because they want to bring me down. So there's lots, you know, that's going on that's attacking a lot of, you know, everybody's had it, you know what I mean? But a lot of people forget that they've had it as well, you know. And all I can do is let yous know that the patriot world is absolutely joined together like that, and nothing is going to break it, you know. And of course, we're going to have attacks from who knows and what knows. Wait, you, hey, out of there. Let's see, let's see, let's see. So yeah, 2 seconds. Maybe again. Come on, you go. So there is going to come attacks. We're sitting trying to work it all out at the minute, you know. We've got fake accounts getting made up. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know if it's Queen's University, whether it's dissidents or whether it's other Protestants, you know. And yeah, we're paying close attention to it. And all this is just, it's normal. So for some people may think, whoa, oh, people I've heard, like, I was talking to a few guys today in East Belfast, and one of them was saying, like, there was even the Catholics are going, you fucking broads can't fucking do nothing right, you know what I mean? And you know, this is the optics that people are giving out because of their behaviour. And I can't control that behaviour, you know what I mean? There's not a lot I can do. I can just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to change for no man, because I ain't doing nothing wrong, you know what I mean? And, you know, all the allegations and all the nonsense, it's just like, it's embarrassing to even talk about. You know, the biggest problem I've had today was trying to explain to people what's going on, you know what I mean? And the look in their faces of how ridiculous it all is. But this is where we're at. This is to do with all sorts of things, but it could be we don't know who the dogs are that I'm kicking, but I'm kicking dogs right now, and we don't know who the owners are, and that's the kind of thing we're looking at as well, because there's no need for it. Freedom Dad is fucking Freedom Dad. I'm fucking 800 videos. I wear my heart on a sleeve. I talk about childhood abuse. I talk about suicide. I talk about drug addiction. I talk about mass immigration. I talk about mental health. You know what I mean? I talk about things that we really about my personal life that it's embarrassing, but I get over that embarrassment because I might help 1 or 2 people. And that's all that matters. So the problem is with some people, I don't think they realise who Freedom Dad really is. They don't realise the goodness and the pureness that comes from Freedom Dad. There's, you know, I don't lie. You know, if I make a mistake, I'll say I make a mistake. You know, if I know somebody or whatever, I'll say, yeah, but it's fuck all to do. You know, you know what I mean? But it's nuts. It's the craziest thing probably I've had to deal with, and it is because of people. This is because of who I am. It's because of what I'm doing, and it's because of how big I'm getting. You know, and it's no more, no less than that. As after talking to so many people today, it all boils down to simple stuff, because I'm not going to go down that road of people working for this and trying to cause division, and this is the government and all doing all that. I'm no buying that just yet. You know, this has been playing on for about 3 months. It's the same group of people, the same rhetoric coming out, the MI5 stuff, now this, it's all coming from the same area. So there's a couple of different angles that we're looking at why it's happening, and all of them aren't nice. They really aren't nice, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, we know how to deal with it. We know how to go forward. So the Patriots will be going forward as normal. We will be watching everybody around us and learning from what people do and say. And as we go forward, we will become so strong and so tight that we have to go through this. This is something that we have to go through. We're young. All the Patriots are young. The movement's young. And, you know, there's a lot of paranoia. There's, you know, the papers. I'm going to be in the papers tomorrow. You know, and I'm dealing with that all the time with the papers, you know what I mean? So it's a constant attack. A constant attack from a small, sweet, tiny group of people that are irrelevant and to me. And that's the truth. I don't think about it until they're slobbering, you know what I mean, in my face. So like I say, if you're going to say to me, say it in my face, you know what I mean, and we can take it from there. But it's just, you know, time and places and all that. You've got to look at all that as well, you know what I mean. Everybody knows where I live, you know. I'm about everywhere. I'm in the same house as some of these men, one of these men, and not a peepee bird, you know, but in front of a demo, in front of loads of people. Somebody that's irrelevant tries to tell me that I'm not welcome, you know, when everybody there, apart from two people and maybe a couple of hangers on, you know what I mean, or and maybe somebody else that we're not too sure about just yet, you know what I mean, but everybody else is thinking, what the fuck are these guys about, you know what I mean? So yeah, obviously I can't do nothing but be me, and I've made this clear from the start. Nobody's stopped me going anywhere. I'm an Ulster man, born and bred in the village. Was in the Orange Laws when I was able to walk. Been in the flute bands and all the rest of it. Ex-loyalist prisoner, and yeah, been around, seen a lot, and this is my country. Every part of it, Ulster, the 6 counties is every part of it, and you know, I get the love from every area, every community, and there's not one Ulster man like me with the trueness in his heart that's been through the troubles is going to let anybody tell them that they're not welcome anywhere on my land, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's ridiculous, and that's it. I'm not going to say no more about it. But like I say, if any man wants to step up the front and Freedom Dad, you know, Freedom Dad's Freedom Dad. You know what I mean? I've got to deal with it. You know what I mean? And it's as simple as that. And I deal with it. Simple as that. You know, so yeah, we're all good. We're gonna move. We're moving on. We've got other stuff. As I say, I'm up to here with it. And this is what's really annoying me, guys. It's holding me back and doing things that I'm meant to be doing. It's stopping me doing things. It's stopping me reading up on things. It's stopping me getting videos. It's stopping me researching because I'm on the phone dealing with stuff that I shouldn't have to deal with. You know, and that's the bottom line. It huge distraction. A huge distraction. It's probably lost about 3 days in total of work, you know what I mean, of stuff that's really important to me. I've got a backlog of stuff to bring that I've got to get. I've got to read loads of stuff. I've got to watch some stuff, and yeah, and it's all being concentrated, and it's all getting done for a reason. And like I say, there is a strategy. You know, we are in second gear, and we hope to be knocking it in the third by Christmas, you know what I mean? And that's it. That's me, Freedom Dad, and what I do as a patriot and an activist and an online commentator, bringing to my community everything that I know and see, and to try and reach out to the Catholic community who are struggling right now because of the failures of Alliance and Sinn Féin and the rest. To let them know that we're here for them. You know what I mean? We are here. We understand what you're going through, and it concerns both of you. So I'm not going to go into about all the moralities of it all, but it is nonsense. It is what it is, and there's nothing I can say or do about it. All I can do is deal with that everything every day that I come in front. You know what I mean? Like I say, I don't want to fight nobody. I'm not into fighting. I don't want to fight. My days of fighting. I'm 55 years old, guys. I'm 50 fucking 5. You know what I mean? You know, like say, Freedom Dad doesn't want to fight nobody. Freedom Dad doesn't want any trouble. Freedom Dad just wants left alone. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's strange, and it's going to take probably another 48 hours, 72 hours to truly work out what's going on, you know, and get to the bottom of it and who's actually behind it, and you know, very strange, very strange behaviour. But I just want to say to the guys at the Bangor demo, I want to apologise for whatever you've seen, whatever went on with Stevie and his family. I want to apologise on behalf of the Patriots of Northern Ireland, behalf of the real Patriots from Northern Ireland who are focused on this country and this country alone. We truly are sorry. We will get to the bottom of it, and it won't happen again, you know. And yeah, Stevie Baker, he's got his own thing going on. You know, I can't speak for Stevie. I don't fight anybody else's battles. You know what I mean? I only look after me and the Freedom Dad team and my wee daughter. You know, So that's that in a nutshell. You know, great stuff for the left, great stuff for the dissidents. You know what I mean? And fucking, you know, you could make it up. You know, if you wanted to try and destroy a movement, that's exactly what, you know, papers, emails from the papers. First thing this morning, journalists wanting to know what happened in Bangor last night. Now, that is very unusual. That's not coming from East Belfast, guys, you know, so something's going on down up there, up, you know, that is somebody, you need to look at what's going on, because that was put out straight away, and it's very, very unusual. So yeah, it's something that other guys need to look at and have a wee look around you. But yeah, yep, that's it. Onwards and upwards, you know what I mean? Fucking nothing changes. Yeah, it's back to, we'll do a live tomorrow. Got other things. I was actually meant to be phoning people to arrange a live with somebody, and I'm also missed a couple of messages from some patriots in England that are coming over for the Remembrance Day that I wanted to catch up with. So there's lots of things that I've missed out on. Not missed out, but it's told me back. I've now got a backlog of shitloads to do because of nonsense. You know what I mean? Because of absolute nonsense. But yep, it is what it is. It's not new ground for me. Fucking brought up in prisons. Fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking, it's water for ducks back, you know? And just makes me feel a bit younger. That's all, if I'm honest, like, you know, feel a lot younger, so I do. But anyway, that's that finished, guys. And I just want to say personally, even though it's not my place, I apologise that you had to see that kind of behaviour, that kind of language, and those kind of threats given out to a man, a woman, and his child or children, and it's unacceptable. And hopefully, guys can sort that out. Whoever's in charge of that particular demo can sort that out. I'm a citizen journalist, and I go and report on it, and I'll be reporting on it every Friday night, like I've done since I've came here, like I've grew the demo for them. You know, so I don't think anybody in that demo that's been doing it this long would look at Freedom Dad and see what he's done for them and then say, right, we've got all these numbers, we don't want you now, Freedom Dad. I don't think that's the case, you know what I mean? And I've spoke to the people, and yeah, it isn't the case. So, and all the support from the patriots and the money it was given to me last night as well, I want to say thank you. You know, I really appreciate it, and it's going towards my daughter. Thank you all so much. So today, guys, I lost 2 lives. I'll drop the phone, and I want to do the other live, but by then we got in front of the BBC buildings, and fucking, I don't know if it's the BBC, it was just the buildings. The live wouldn't go, it was stalling, so I ended up just recording it on the phone. So I've got all that to edit and sort out. And yeah, I want to be honest, guys. I can all see my chat. My phone is not well, lol. Yes, mate, we can see your chat, Stephen. When is Lucky's birthday? I'm not going to give her birthday date out, as I, you know what I mean, but it's beginning in November, guys. And John Lockroom, how you doing, mate? Kendo's in the house as well. Good to see you. Sorry about that last night, mate. You know, like I say, you were very disappointed as well. A lot of people fucking disappointed, man. It's fucking embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing, man. But anyway, Palestinians. So yeah, I don't know how many was there. I think they were expecting 1,000. I'd say maybe 500. You know, I'm not great at counting crowds like that, but no apologies. Not your doing. Yes, I know that, mate. But I feel that I'm one of the biggest platforms in Northern Ireland that represents Northern Ireland, and I think it's my place to say apologies to everybody that comes down there, to say hello to Freedom Dad, to experience that. Yeah, it's not nice, so it is what it is, guys. But yeah, the Palestinians, I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, I had a wee bit of an interaction, you know, with a couple of them a day. One particular guy who's always masked up, he was actually quite pleasant, you know, and then a couple of other ones there. CJ was there. This was like after the demo. We got a chat to a couple of them outside the Leonardo, there wasn't that many there. There was only about 10 of them there, so they were quite calm, you know what I mean? And there was a couple of headers there just wanted to scream at us, but I got a wee conversation, and I didn't record it because I wanted to understand, and they just won't speak. I had a body worn on as well. He goes, I know your body, he made my body worn's off, and they showed me him turning it on and off. I says, mate, it's off. Hey man, if I say to you I'm not going to film you, I'm not going to fucking say that and then do it dirty. I would never do that. So it was interesting, this guy who we have been enemies, you know what I mean, sort of thing, over the last few months as I've been doing the demos, to actually get him and say, listen man, what's the crack? You know what I mean? And having that conversation, and it was really interesting. And then as well, one of the guys that runs the demos, who I've had a wee bit of a interaction with, negative interaction, actually came up at the end and was asking about my stand and where I got it and stuff like that. So we were able to interact as human beings, which was really, really good. And yeah, so that's the way I work. I'm not there to make them angry. They get angry at seeing me. I'm there for the one of them that come up and talk to me, you know, but they just want to shout at me and film me as if like I've never been filmed. Fucking 800 videos with my face on here, and they're filming me as if I'm going to be worried about it. You know, so a lot of that, cameras in my face, big long lenses, click, 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 and all that carry on. And trying to intimidate us, you know what I mean? But I don't understand. If they're cameramen and they're trying to intimidate another cameraman who's online, you know, it doesn't make any sense, you know? So obviously when they're filming me, I just shout out my YouTube channel, you know, just in case they do put it somewhere. Patty Steins need to listen to the wee song, you know, where you can, yeah. yeah, London, patriot. So yeah, it was good. We had a good. It was me, Stevie, Foxy lad, CJ, and the unnamed man. Was there, and everything was great. Everything was everything went okay. It wasn't like too much. There was a bit of aggro, you know what I mean, but nothing much. CJ got the aggro. CJ always gets the aggro. So watch CJ audits when he puts it all out. When are you going to put it out, mate? What you got today? You right, wee man? What's up, E? Tomorrow night. You always make us wait. He has built a channel on them. Tomorrow night, Iron Lady. Oh, you getting inside information, are you? So yeah, it was a different sort of thing today, you know what I mean? I was capturing it, letting people see who's who and what's what, and you know, bringing it online. So, you know, if they're gonna walk through our city centre shouting slogans about Israel and Hamas, as far as I'm concerned, and from the river to the sea and all that nonsense. Good evening, wasn't it? Good to see you, son. Then you don't be complaining about being filmed, you know, because I'm there to film you, to show everyone that you're there, that you're part of the problem, and that's as simple as that, you know what I mean? And I don't apologise for that. You're the ones that are coming out and marching down our city centre with this nonsense, you know, not an Irish flag to be seen, Palestinians, Antifa, you know, on the streets of Belfast, you know what I mean? And yeah, there's no room for that. There's no room for that, guys. We need to start a lodge, reach out to people of all old age or not on the phone. Let's get the message out like the way we used to. P. O'Neill. They should be worrying about things closer to home. That's what I was saying to him. This is the conversation I was having, you know, with the ones that would talk to me. I was like, you know, what gets me is that you are here all the time shouting about Palestine. And yes, okay, there's bad things have happened. We get that. You know, there's been civilian casualties on another level. Nobody is disputing that. But on both sides, you know what I mean? And my point is that we've got something bigger going on here. And you know what? They were agreeing with me. They know the problem that's coming. This is the mental bit of it. But they're saying they're just there because of genocide. They keep saying, that was the word they keep using, genocide. And the murdering of children, that was the keep thing going. And I was saying, I understand that. I get that. But there's nothing you can do to change that. There's nothing I can do to change that. But together we can change this. what's coming to here. And it doesn't make any sense to me why you aren't concentrating on your own country. This is where you live. This is where your children are going to grow up. So that's a kind of like what I always say when I'm trying to speak to them and find out what's going on, you know. I said to him, like, I'm not here to hate you. You are the ones that are hating me. I'm here with a camera, and you just fucking give me it. You just give me the content, you know. Not one of you have ever come up and said, listen, what's the crack, Freedom Dad? What's your problem? And then I would be able to stand and say, this is my problem. My problem is that you're right for one side. There's two sides that are victims over there. It's fucking thousands of miles away. It doesn't concern us, you know. You know, we know Hamas the PLO. We know Hamas is the Muslim Brotherhood, fact. And, you know, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to Protestants and Catholics here, Christians. Why you're pushing this? Because along with the support that you're doing right now, on the back of that, these guys are going to... Sinn Féin want to bring these guys over here. The ones that are left, the hardliners, the ones that didn't leave when they had the chance from the humanitarian corridors that were given to them. You know, so the worst of the worst are left. And Sinn Féin want them here. And they don't get that. Evening, Molly. Good to see you. Yes, it's good to see you. Yeah, Emerald 90, like the old CND marches back in the day. Yeah, no, you're right there. Like, if they came out and complained about all wars. Where can you buy the best home-baked fudge, soda and round wheaten these days? These Ballyshock have long gone. I don't know. Omo? Is Omo still going? Could help the Palestinian people being bombed by Israel and controlled by Hamas, I know. Happy days, was it? Whistling Dixie. Mihul on his way out. Loopy Loo be your next. Yeah. Freedom Dad, the only sense I can see is the historical link with PLO trainings, camps, and shipments. If you get me, yeah, 100%, mate. That is a big link. That's the people driving behind this. Some of these people today aren't aware of the bigger picture, and there's people driving us that, like, IRSP were there. You know, you seen me getting it on camera, or maybe you didn't because maybe it wasn't live, but I've got footage of them being there, who are the political wing of the NLA. As far as I'm concerned, my opinion, educational, entertainment purposes and all that carry on. But, you know, this is what a lot of these innocents don't realise, that are there for genocide and killing the babies. They don't realise what the agenda is being pushed, you know what I mean? And like I said in my live today, yous are creating division. We don't need this right now. You know, this is the time when we need to come together, and yous are creating division. Yous are here basically supporting Hamas. You know, because if you do not support Israel and what they went through, okay, that kicked all this off, then you're only supporting one side, then you have to be supporting Hamas. It's as simple as that. And you know, a lot of people would argue and say, you know, the ones that just, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just a day out for some people. Maybe some people just don't have anything better to do on a Saturday but walk about Belfast shouting slogans against Israel. I didn't see your video from the day, Freedom Dad. Hey Foxy lad, how you doing? Give me 2 seconds, guys. What's up? You order something? Alright, Sunshine, what's happening? I'm on live. No shot, mate. I'll get you after the live, son. Right. Answer them more if they were behind. Hey Foxy lad, how are you? He's doing good, our Foxy lad. Alan supposedly arrested for confronting Mary Lou. Yeah, he's been arrested, yes, he's been arrested. They have his romantic view of the struggle and it's ridiculous, yeah. Marie, freedom dog, what happened to the man that spat in your face? Go, man, I fucking let it go. I'll let it go. I'm not going to stand in court and point the fucking guy out because that's what it would have went. He would have pled not guilty and all the rest of it and fucking dragged me into the court and all the rest of it. And I just couldn't do it. I knew I was wasting everybody's time because I knew when I thought about it, if it gets to that stage, there's no way I'm standing in the witness box and pointing the man out, no matter what he's done. You know what I mean? Obviously, like, to me, you know what I mean? I can handle that. Troubles are nothing compared to this. Yes, Scott, the troubles are nothing compared to this. And this is why we're getting so much flack. Freedom Dog, what happened to the man who spat in your face? Yeah, I've covered that there. P. O'Neill. Did someone just say just eat? Foxy on the chat up again, right there, right now. He's a nightmare. I'm surprised we got him out of that town today. Okay, Liam, let's hear Liam out. Leave the Palestinian issue alone. Israel is totally wrong, and if you don't know what you're talking about, say nothing on the subject. Concentrate on migration issue from Britain. Well, if they would concentrate on it, I would concentrate on it because it's creating division. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know enough. I know enough. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say I'm not on this side, I'm not on that side. I just want you all the ways up and fucking, stop flying foreign flags in our country and let's fucking look after our country instead of fucking throwing foreign aid out here, left, right, and everywhere and getting involved in everybody's fucking problems. Like Russia and Ukraine, we shouldn't have any troops in there. And now they're wanting fucking whatever it is, tomahawks or whatever it is, they're wanting 1,000 of them to fire into Russia that we're going to supply. We fucking shouldn't be getting involved in nothing like that. I don't know about that, Leslie. Yeah, we are being diverted from the real problem. He is right. Liam is right. Yes, I agree with him. He is right. I thought I seen the spitter in the crowd. Yeah, you would have been there. You know what I mean? But Ilian Sloan, good to see you. They're counting on the Patriots dying out during the winter. I know that. We know this, so we are at the minute. If all the nonsense would stop, then yeah, geez, oh man, like it was like yesterday was non-stop. Friday, you know what I mean? I just left a meeting an hour before the demo. You know what I mean? It's really serious stuff. Like trying to learn stuff and just talking about the future for my child and what direction do we think it's going in, and just friends get talking. You know what I mean? And yeah, then it's just madness, guys. So yeah, guys, I want you to get behind the pink ladies as well because this is a time whenever we see any woman in our society being abused, like or seeing a man being abused like that. When, as far as I'm concerned, he's not the worst. You know what I mean? He's not everybody's cup of tea. Like I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but nobody's got the right to behave like that. And so big up, Robin. Like I say, you shouldn't have went through that. It's fucking bad shit, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, what was that? Somebody asked a question there. Oh, I don't want to know, mate. Not on this chat. Not on this chat. Wee bit bunkers is in Scotland. Dear. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you could have, Foxy lad. Yeah. So yeah, Foxy lad. It's good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Good to see you today. But yeah, like I say, guys, the Palestinian thing. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of it, but there's a method behind my madness. Every single thing I do, there's method behind it. I'm not wasting an hour or 2 hours of my day going live. I'm not going to turn my camera on and start rolling unless it's really, really beneficial. Every single video that I do, I think very carefully about, and yeah, and that's the way it's been from the start. Boy, honestly, what is wrong with you? You want out? Come on, away you go. Go on. Do you want to go here? Come on. Come here. Come on. In you get. Right to be right, one of them was definitely female, 100%. I don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah, it's been a good wee day, so it has. I got as much done today. I'm trying to caught up with this morning with as much as I could. Went to the demo, had a really good day, and was in East Belfast by about 4 hours a day. Fucking just non-stop. It's just non-stop right now. And the phone hasn't stopped now. Okay, I've never heard of any pro-Hamas chants in the marches. If you support Palestine cause, it doesn't mean you support Hamas. Okay, the reason why you won't hear any pro-Hamas chants in the thingy because they would get arrested for it. They're not allowed. You know, it's just like Palestinian action. It's not allowed. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying every single person. Probably about 40% of the people there are really kind, loving, generous, and humanitarian, ripping right out of them, and just a care for what they see as an atrocity that's happening, you know, which is fair enough. But there is also that percentage there that are driving and they're doing stuff, and it's all tactics. And yeah, we know. I know a lot more than I can say. Let's put it like that. Yeah, exactly. It's a prescribed organisation. You get the jail for supporting it. You know what I mean? I don't know, why is the EU migrant pack not talked about anymore? It depends what channel you're looking at. John Downs, how you doing? What do you think of the spoiled votes, mate? Yeah, well, I haven't, mate. To be honest with you, I got in about an hour ago. Okay, I got in about an hour ago. I was at my mates, and then some people came, and then other people were phoning me, and we just directed them all to where we were. You know what I mean? Jordanian, Ethiopian guys on the loose. Yeah, I know that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look into it tonight before I go to bed. I'm going to quickly jump on the No Risk No Reward, find out what he's got going, what he's throwing out. Going to jump onto your channel, see what you put out, John. And John, I apologise. I have a video coming out soon, and I've told you it was meant to be done a week ago, but because everything's going on, not just about last night, but there's been a lot. It's just been hard work. It's just been really hard work, so it has. And it's just prioritising things. We had the Dublin riots. The Dublin riots started with that 10-year-old allegedly and all the rest of it. And so that's sort of everything got put on hold, you know what I mean? Yeah, anybody know what the spoiled vote stats are? Can anybody give us any information on it? I've seen that. Syrian Chippy and Andy Town, seen it. P. O'Neill. 13% spoiled vote was 13%. We need to know what the percentage of the vote was. Hello, Kirsty, how you doing? About 13 to 15%. 200,000 spoiled votes. 40% turnout, many spoiled votes, apparently a large number. Okay, so what does that mean? Like, I take it they're still going to elect Nat Connolly, aren't they? They're the ones she wants. If Sinn Féin want her in, then she's a fucked. You know, she's for everything. She's for everything that's going to destroy our future, i.e. birth rates and all that, you know what I mean, from Christian Irish people, whether they're Protestants or Catholics. That's the layman's terms of what's going on in Ireland. That's the repercussions of voting in the wrong people. It's going to destroy the birth rates, and because we're not having enough children and more people are dying, same in Ireland, and then you're bringing all these foreigners in. They're all going to be having children. They're going to go up. Ours is going down. It doesn't matter before you are replaced. And it won't be a replacement like Birmingham, where you are completely, there's no Irishmen left. It will be a replacement where they will have control of Parliament and control all the votes. And that's where they're heading to. Connolly is in. There you go. Connolly's in, guys. She's elected. It has caused a right awakening. Yeah, well, and we will be watching closely. Like I say, I've got John Downs or anybody jump on John's click his wee icon, give him a wee subscribe. He's also on Facebook, same name. You might see him floating about on my platform. So if you see him, click his icon, give him a subscribe or a follow. Clergy, yeah, you're right, DJQ. Yeah, you're right, James Cahill. It's not elected, it's selected, correct? It's not how many people vote, it's who counts the votes. Example, Trump 2020. Need a link for John Downs, icon, don't work. Need a link, guys, for John Downs. If one of my mods can do that, please. 192 and 97 likes, good lads and girls, thank you so much. Why are Sinn Féin not turned on in Northern Ireland like the South? Why are Sinn Féin not turned on in Northern Ireland like the South? Because the Northern Ireland, it's more confined. You know, we're segregated. You got to understand we're segregated. That's the first thing you got to remember. Protestant communities, Catholic communities. So in the Catholic communities, they're segregated. You know, Sinn Féin, the kind of things Sinn Féin are doing is going out and forcing people to vote, not dragging them to the votes, but putting them under pressure. Families, it's just like the Muslims, you know, with the Muslim Brotherhood, and the way the man in the family decides, he makes sure everybody in the family, like maybe 40 in his family, he'll make sure they all vote for who he wants to vote for, you know what I mean? And it's the same sort of thing. They've been doing it for years, but the thing is it's mostly the older generation have really lost faith, and Sinn Féin are being chased out in most places, apart from these Republican areas. And it's not because the people don't want to chase them out, it's because they're scared too. They're scared of the repercussions. They're scared of being seen as traitors, as back in the 80s and the 90s, you know. And, you know, like Jean McConville, what happened to her? I think she was a mother of 8. You know, and this is some of the things that that I wanted to bring up as well, guys, about Soldier F and the dissidents right now, the hardliners who are coming out, and we've seen the bomb disposal out at the different areas. We've seen the rhetoric coming from these dissidents, and you know, I want to make it clear to everybody that, you know, if we want to go back in history, all we got to do is remember what happened, what they did to one of their own, to a woman, you know, and how they left that family of children on their own, you know what I mean? And, you know, if they want to talk about civilians being unalived, you know, then let's investigate that, you know, but they're not interested because it's done by their own hand, you know. So it's one of them ones, guys. There's lots and lots of comparisons I can bring, like quite a lot of names I could bring that have been casualties from the Catholic community by the Republican movement. You know, but nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to forget about that and just focus on like Soldier F and Bloody Sunday and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? With we see there's an online campaign coming from the dissidents, bringing up the past about the UVF bombs in Dublin and the Shankill butchers and other things to rile up the bitterness in people, to remind them how bad these prods were. You know what I mean? And I'm never going to say that we weren't bad prods. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that none of us, all of us, both sides, done bad things to each other. Nobody's disputing that. But, you know, like I keep on saying, it's in the past, guys. The past isn't going to help us. There's nothing, the past. All we can do is learn from the past of how not to hate each other, how not to be divided, you know, and use that going forward. And it's just with, you know, when you open your mind and your eyes and research of what's going on and how quick it can happen, then I don't want people panicking and all rushing at once to jump on the bandwagon. We need people to gradually wake up, understand what's going on both sides of the community and come together, you know. And it is good to see that the IRSP in Dublin did release a statement, you know, supporting what's happening. Basically, looking at how many babies died whilst in care of Irish foundlings hospitals 400 years ago while under British rule. Yeah, you know, there's lots, you know, there is lots and lots of bad stuff that's happened on both sides of the community. But like I say, um, it's the kids and the teenagers and the guys in their 20s and 30s have fucking nothing to do with them. So let's just leave it there, all of us, and let's show these young ones, these teenagers, these 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that us adults, us Generation X, are going to lead the way and show them how to go forward before we go, because we're on our way out. And I do believe they're waiting for us to go out. You know, they are waiting for us to go out. Um, there's a couple of other things I want to say, like, but I've left my mind. I am gonna start taking notes soon to do some of these videos. It gives us confidence to teach our kids. Everlevant is very good. Yes, Everlevant and Rebel News are a very good media company. You know, and I've got nothing but love. But you know, I want to make this clear. You know what I mean? Because there seems to be a bit of confusion right now, and there's always going to be this confusion. And like the media would like to print this and say this is like far right, but you know, I want to make it clear right now that you know I am not against immigration, but I do believe that we need to stop immigration until we take check of what's coming in. I do believe there should be no room or no quarter given when it comes to our own people coming first. You know, and there's no two ways about it. I think we should be demanding that we come first, and anybody coming into the country, you know, illegally, you know, or suspiciously in any way, where they've been given citizenship after coming in with false documents or no documents. You know, there's a difference between our immigrants that are coming over and being here for a long time and working in society and putting into society. It's not easy to work out when the time is to look at it. But, you know, there's a lot of statements getting given out about certain things that I don't agree with. What the fuck did border control actually do? They affiliate the border control affiliate, if that's the right word, the replacement of your country. That's what the border force are doing. That's what the RNLI are doing. They're letting people come into the country and they're not caring about them returning. As you know, the alleged crime and the alleged perpetrator was he was deported many years ago, like by a court, get him out of here, and he's still here, and that's what he's done. So you've got to ask yourself how many men are running about our countries that have been told to leave by courts. You know what I mean? So yeah, we, like I say, we don't have the numbers or the figures. We can't do nothing really. We can't like tell you how long we've got left, how close we are. You know, people look about. People come up to me and say, you know, Dungannon. I think what Dungannon was one of the places mentioned. I think, and unrecognisable. You know what I mean? I may be wrong in that area, but there's a lot of people coming up to me and saying, where I live now is unrecognisable." You know, you struggle to see a local person. You know what I mean? So this is something that we need to pay attention to, and something that a government needs to address, because these guys are going to be having children. Some of these guys are having children to multiple wives, and at the end of the day, we are not having children because we're now in a society where our women are told to get a job and have a career. You know what I mean? And on top of that, we can't afford to really have much more than one child because of cost of living and because of the two-cap child thing. So everything's been put in place to replace everything. It's all coming together at once, and any government that's coming in, they've got to understand that. That's the first thing they should understand of truly what the threat is. Freedom, that there's not one person here that would see any man or woman die with thirsty, but don't kill my mum or my sister. Yeah, I agree with that, mate. But this is what I mean. They use our empathy. They use the empathy. It's called malicious altruism, and it's when they use your kindness and your empathy and they bullshit you by saying, "Oh, these guys need refuge. These are refugees that need help," and blah blah blah. And then we go, okay. And once we're settled in, and they're bringing in like people like Ukrainians who need our help and stuff like that, and maybe got no homes left, then they start pushing in. This is when the illegals come in, and they're fighting AIDS men, and it's an army. And there's not nobody in Ireland, England, or Scotland that are on the ground will not tell you that this feels like an army that's coming in. And there's too many people now talking about, you know, yeah, it's because I'm on a live. I've got messages coming through, guys. If you want to improve running, if any of my mates are close to me that are on, would one of you give Paul a wee phone and let him know I'm on a live? And that's probably why what he thinks is happening is happening. Has anyone noticed the Wellington Park Hotel, Easy Hotel, and the Holiday Inn Express? So where have they put all these people? Where are the Patriots in Antrim Town? Was there today, and it's shocking how much it's changed. Well, I'm a Belfast man, guys, and brought up in East Belfast, and was fostered in the Kilcooley estate in Bangor in my teenage years, you know what I mean, and jumped between the two most of my life. Born and bred in South Belfast. I do try to cover as much as I can, but I'll look into it. I'll ask about, Thank you, Julie G. I hope you are doing well. Standing with you all, love from the south. Thank you so much. And I hope you are okay up down there. They shift them around regularly. Antrim, Ballymena, Belfast, X-Falls all looked fine a few months ago compared to West Yorkshire. Yeah, we are a wee bit behind you guys. Freedom Dad and chat need to leave. Keep focused on the main concerns. Good night. God bless. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to be rolling too long. I've taken it up to an hour. I am tired. I have been up early. Like I say, the people around me know that I get up in the morning at 6:30, sometimes 6 o'clock, and I return as many messages as I can. And then once 7, 8, 9 comes, that's when the phone calls start. You know what I mean? From my friends and other patriots, for information, like what videos, and just talking about what everybody's doing. Talking to people in Scotland, talking to people in England, talking to people in Ireland. And yeah, it's a huge big network, and it's just part of life, you know what I mean? I'll be on the phone for half an hour, and there's another phone call coming through, and then I go on that phone for half an hour, and another phone call comes through. So I'll be on the phone for like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. And then I have to research what's YouTube, check the internet, check certain ground news and stuff like that for anything that might be jumping out that I have missed, or something that maybe no risk, no reward is missed. And I also send videos and messages to other big YouTubers in England and Scotland and Ireland, keeping them up to date with what's going on, stuff that they won't hear from mainstream media. So when they're putting out their videos, they've got some understanding what's going on. And I know quite a lot of them watch my videos to make sure they get a wee bit of what's going on in Northern Ireland. So I've always got, when I'm doing my videos, I'm alive, I'm talking to quite a lot of guys. As you know, Past 49 comes in every now and again. And yeah, as you know, they've all shouted me out. They've all given me shout outs. British Lorder, Dino Bean, all done videos about me. Paul Thorpe has shouted out when I had the baby and all that, wished me luck and all that. So and there's other ones, plenty of other ones there that always give me a wee message every now and again, and it's a really nice community. So, but that's what I'm want you to understand. Don't get caught up in silly wee stuff that you hear or see, or with the papers. You know what I mean? or whatever's getting spread about the place. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in that, guys. You know what I mean? You got to understand there's a massive big picture. And this is why I keep saying that these people are so irrelevant, because they've got no idea what's going on. You know? They're sitting there fighting and gibbering and talking absolute rubbish and chasing TikToks and all the rest of it. And they've got no idea, absolutely no idea what's going on in the bigger world around them right now. And, you know, that's what I say. But it does fucking take a wee bit of time away from me. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I'm not addressing it anymore. Fucking sick addressing it. Sick talking about it. Clocks go back tonight. I wish they went back 20 years. Good one, mate. No, the wheels aren't coming off the wagon, mate. The wagon's getting changed to something a bit more sturdier. That's for sure. Yeah, it wasn't great bubble gum. You know me. I'm gonna throw a bit together. Um, Too many people influenced by propaganda. If you ask me, yeah. Freedom Dad, did you put up a video today? I've got two wee lives up today. Nothing major. They weren't great. They weren't great. You know what I mean? I think they were buffering a wee bit. You know, I haven't looked back at them, guys. Like I say, I'm only in an hour. I am tired, guys. I am. It's like jumping about that, running about Belfast, getting ready. You know, then and talking. I've been talking and talking and talking, phone calls all day, and talking about the same fucking madness, the same craziness, and me trying to explain to guys that like this is what this is about, and it's embarrassing. Like it's everybody's fucking embarrassed about it. You know what I mean? So it's one of them situations that's fucking mental, absolutely mental, guys. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, when they do get desperate, they bring out the MI5 stuff, and then they've got their little followers, their wee minions sitting shaking. Yeah, he's an intelligence officer. He works for MI5. Mental, fucking mental. So yeah, what we watch, we see who it is. Just a group. They're sticking together, and they're going to keep on. I imagine, you know, doing this, and more people are going to see them doing it. More everybody's seen what they've done from I've came here, and it's the same people, exact same people as they go forward. You know what I mean? It's coming from the exact same place from day one, and now everybody can see that. You know. Night, everyone. Good night. Who was that? Demo. Good night, mate. So 30,000 spoiled. That's good. Put your feet up, put the TV on, and get some food in you. I am about to get some food. I was going to have. I've got a nice pie in the oven or in the fridge, but we're going to keep up for tomorrow, and just get some fast food. It's fucking usual how it is. My bedroom clock will be right. Never change it from last time. I do that, Stephen. I do that. I fucking don't like after my wife died. I done that. You know what I mean? And never fucking. And it just went back to normal every year. You know, because you just look at your clock whenever, and you know it's an hour fast or an hour slow. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do that, mate. God bless, Mark. Thank you, John, and thank you for the advice you give me through CJ. I really, really appreciate that. And you're bang on. You're bang on, and I, you know, this is the kind of thing I've been looking for. Good men like you that will reach out and criticize Freedom Dad. That you know, in a way that I know you're just trying to help me. You know, so thank you so much for that, mate. I've learned from it, and I'm taking it on board. I was very the day I was like choking. That's like say online I'm on where I was going. You know what I mean? I was yesterday I was choking because the chimney corner was meant to be on and then it was cancelled, and I had the dilemma anyway. So me and the guys were like, how do we do this? Do we go there first and then run to the drive through the chimney corner, get the last half an hour of the chimney corner, and then we're thinking, well, what if it kicks off in Palestinian? We can't just walk away from good footage, and then we're letting the chimney corner the guys down. Oh, it was a nightmare. And then the guys from Newton Abbey told me it was on the first, so you know, happy days. Was able to get into Belfast and show you guys what's going on still. Freedom, Dad, your diligence is appreciated greatly. Stop sacrifice self and family. Take a wee break. Nidal. You can't take a break. I can't take a break. I'd love to take a break. So how do I take a break? Tell me that. How can I take a break? The way things are moving so fast, the things that are happening, the content that's out there, the news that's getting breaking every day. What's going on with Starmer? What's going on with Ukraine and Russia? What's happening in Ireland? You know, what's going on in Belfast? How can I take a break? You know what I mean? Octopus and Dublin are free taxis to free. Yeah, I know stacks. Cooking with Trayford is a good Irish patriot. Okay, Jordana. So yeah, 70 minutes, guys. I'm going to get some grub. It is 8:45. I've been on the go. Like I say, I'm only in an hour. Um, so I'm just going to say good night. And what I'm going to, we'll get a live tomorrow. I'll be a lot more relaxed tomorrow. I'm going to take it easy. I've got a few things to do. I need to be somewhere in the morning. Not too early, like, but and early enough. And then, dogs out. Yeah, you know what I mean. And yeah, I'll always be taking my dogs out. You know what I mean. Uh, I hear things. You know, you're more than welcome to come and have a chat when I'm walking my dogs. Good night, all. Good night, John Rankin. Good night, Foxy Lad, Lady J, Ian's interest. Get a beer, grab some food. Good. I'm not into having a drink, guys. I might have a wee drink tomorrow. I might have a wee bottle of wine tomorrow night. We just go because I haven't had a drink in fuck knows how long now. But I have to be careful. I've got a christening coming, and everybody's going to it. You know what I mean? All the boys and all the troops are invited to the. It's my godson, so I'm looking really forward to. I'm really looking forward to that. So it's going to be a piss up with all the boys. You know what I mean? And as you can imagine, it's a big family, big huge family. From Cucully, South Belfast, Shangle, and it's going to be a massive gathering of really good guys and women. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, Freedom Dad will be there, maybe doing a wee bit of filming, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll wait till everybody gets drunk and hit a live one, eh? I'm only joking. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to meeting the minister, pastor. I'm really looking forward to him, meeting him. I've been choking to meet him for a wee while, but I haven't stopped. So yeah, all good times ahead, guys. Nothing but good times ahead. My daughter's birthday's coming up, bits and pieces going on there that I'm dealing with. It's been hanging, you know what I mean? If I'll be honest, Katie's my baby's mum has got a new partner, and obviously has a father. You know what I mean? Like straight away, I was like, well done you, and I'm here for you if you need me, and I just want you to be happy and all the rest of it. But then after it, you're like fucking, it's my baby's there, so it is. That's been. I think that's been the last 4 days. I've been dealing with that. So I have Sarah and Caitlin and other women around me who give me advice and help me to deal with it mentally, because it is difficult. You know what I mean? I want to be with my baby, but I don't want to fight. My baby should be with her mama. You know what I mean? But I have faith that I have faith in my baby's mama. You know what I mean? So she comes from good stock, so she'll be okay. You know what I mean? But just the initial shock. You know what I mean? Of Okay, so just messages coming in, guys. So yeah, there's a lot going on in Old Freedom Dad's head, offline, personal stuff that, what I mean, that any man, any human being would probably struggle with in life, you know what I mean? But I'm glad to say I've got amazing support. I've got the most amazing support and love, not just from very close friends who I've known for a long time, and guys I've been in jail with and everything back in the day, in the Crumb and the Maze and all the rest of it. But I've also got amazing followers, an amazing community, and like I say, this. Don't worry. This everything. This is what happens. There might be some more other wee bits and pieces coming. There might be some big pieces coming. Leave it to Freedom Dad to sort it all out. At the end of the day, I've got the platform. I can explain things to you, and it's my duty, and you deserve to know. You know what I mean? We don't need to talk about names because everybody knows from fucking Belfast to fucking Portadown, you know what I mean, to Londonderry, you know what I mean. Every fuck knows how or why, but you know what I mean. But yeah, like I say, these are the trials and tribulations of Freedom Dad. I've told you the attacks it would have. I told you how hard it's going to be. And, you know, I told you that it would come from other patriots. I told you it would come from the left. And I told you it would come from the newspapers. And, you know, for all we know, the government's to do with it all. It's all a big ploy to shut the biggest mouth up. They shut the biggest YouTuber, TikToker and Facebooker up who is really going hard against the Islamification of our countries, really going hard against the grooming gangs and really going hard against mass immigration. Who wouldn't want to shut me up? But that's who you should be looking at, the people that want to shut Freedom Dad up. So listen guys, all my love, don't worry about me. After fucking the amount of prisons I've done and fucking the shit I've been through in my days, trust me, this is Mickey Mouse stuff. This is irrelevance, you know what I mean? It's just like irritating. But like I say guys, have faith in us. I promise you, everything is strong, everybody's together, and yes, there's personality clashes, but the men and women who are actually involved, you know, the Newton Abbey, the Ballymena, the Portadown, the Belfast, East, South, North, West, they all rise above it. They all see the bigger picture, and they're not going to get drawn into personal differences. He said, she said, I don't like him, don't want him speaking. This was what happened in England, and our guys know that they all have said to me that it's all going to stop, and we're all going to just get on with it and keep our differences, leave our differences in the house, just like I say about the religious stuff. Leave whatever you believe in the house, come to our demos, and then you can pick it back up when you go home. You know what I mean? We've got no problem with that. So yeah, like I say, I support all patriots, you know. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to deep dive everybody's personalities. I'm here to make sure that the best is happening to our country for my wee Lucky and on our kids, you know what I mean? I just don't want to lose what we got, guys. So yeah, I'm going to leave yous. I'm going to go and get myself something to eat and get in the bed and chill out, watch a bit of YouTube, make a couple of phone calls, and Falls Road Young Defenders, you know, even in the Falls Road Patriots, look, even the Falls Road Patriots. Listen, we are going to be going down that road. We're going to be doing a lot more work with, we're going to be looking into things. I'm not going to say too much because I've been warned and told, zip it, don't tell people what you're doing, you know what I mean? So I'm going to take that on board. But there is loads of big things coming, big ideas, things getting put in place, and I think you're going to be quite surprised of what Freedom Dad's going to bring. Everything's a first. Everything's a first. Ulster flags and tricolours coming together is a first. Freedom Dad as an ex-loyalist prisoner going down and getting all that love is a first. An ex-loyalist prisoner being threatened by the IRA and the NLA, it's a first as a patriot. You know what I mean? As just a father, a concerned parent, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's a lot of firsts happening, and pay close attention, you know? But like I say, guys, I've expected this. Everybody around me knew it was coming, and we're just surprised. We're a wee bit surprised that, you know, but not really surprised, you know. Ugh. Yes, everybody in the street knows. All the dogs in the street know, but it's not my place to call people out, and they're showing themselves. I don't need to call them out. So guys, that's it. You know, patriots in Northern Ireland will never be unbroken. The Protestants and the Catholics that are coming together in the patriot world will never be unbroken, because there's there's so much going on that it's so big, and it makes anything, all the wee hateful comments and all the bullshit and MI5 and fucking whatever else, it makes it also irrelevant, you know. It's a distraction. Everything's a distraction. I wonder why. I wonder why. So you can work it all out. Everybody in the street's working it out right now, and people will come up to their own conclusions. At the end of the day, I would not want to be the man or women who are behaving in the way they're behaving. I would not want that. The way people are looking at it right now, I would not want that. But they brought it on themselves. Freedom Dad has never said a bad word. You know, if anybody calls me out online, they get called right back out. But Freedom Dad does not run about slabbering about people behind their back. Freedom Dad hasn't got a bad word to say about anybody. You know, Freedom Dad tries to bring people together not fucking badmouth people behind other people's backs and split people up. Everybody around me knows that's what freedom does. People say to me, what are you talking to him for? And I'm like, because I want to bring us all together. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing Freedom Dad gets, and that's all I'm trying to do. We're better together than split up. You know, whether you like somebody, whether you don't like somebody, you know, that shouldn't matter. As long as they're heading in the right direction to protect our country and our kids, then you should give them a bit of space, you know. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Shameful behaviour, but, you know, it's to be expected. And I just want to keep saying everything's good. We're stronger than ever. This has actually brought us a lot stronger. That it really has. I can't say too much, but this has made us really, really tight now, because we now know what's going on. It's very clear now. So it's yeah, it's actually a really positive thing, believe it or not, guys. So don't listen to the papers, as always. You know, I've had 2 emails and a phone call today, first thing this morning, asking about Bangor. You know, have I got anything to say about it? So I imagine they're going to be writing stuff about it. Whoever's talking is telling them what's going on. And yeah, like I say, always record everything. Always have your camera rolling. Do not let anybody, any man or woman, tell you not to record, okay? Unless it's fucking kicking off, like you don't want to get violence and all that in. But you know, if it's to do with me, you record me. Anybody can record me, and nobody. There's not a man or woman that can tell you not to record Freedom Dad, ever. Okay, that's fact. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm here to be recorded. You can put me online. You can do whatever you want, and you can screen record what I say, and do TikToks and all the rest of it. You know, this is what we need to do. We need to get more active. We're working on it as well with the social media stuff, and we are growing other platforms, and there's other platforms being grown. All will be revealed. All will be revealed soon. And I will be talking to people at different demos and speaking them face to face, and people that we trust and people who have been around for a long time, proper patriots. We're working out now who we can trust, and we will be having private conversations, what we think they need to be doing, and help them with the social media and help them with CapCut and all the editing stuff. And hopefully any equipment that comes in will be handed out to the citizen journalists that are just popping up, like Nicky and Northern Ireland lad. We've got Belfast fella as well, and I keep forgetting one who's really important as well. But CJ, obviously you know about CJ, and I think there's PSNI abusing their powers. There's loads out there, guys. You know what I mean? So I know there's a couple I forgot. Tooth Podcaster. Who else? Who else? Obviously, he's no risk, no reward. So you know the score there, guys. So that's it. 153 in, 83 minutes, 130 likes. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep loving, keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing on everybody's platform that is a patriot, you know. And you know who not to follow, and you know who to follow. It's clear as day now, innit? I'm Freedom Dad. God bless.